Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So happy to be back.
Well, I am too. So I'm just going to do a precursor here. My guy, I have a dog, and he's very needy this morning, very talkative. So the microphone will be picking up on his need to converse with us this morning. So
Understandable. So Kelly's been in a snowstorm.
Yes, I'm in Portland, and we had a lovely dusting of snow, which kind of threw, those of you that are familiar with the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, when we get snow, the whole world comes to a crashing halt. But I grew up in Colorado, so it's really simple for me. But for most people, it's not so much. But it's a nice little refreshing walk in the snow versus the rain. It's quite welcomed. So it's all good.
It's all good. So we have quite a show lined up for today. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And as always, the appreciation that I would like to express to you for your deep dives. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because if you're not in it all the time, there's so much. And we were talking about that before we started the show here this morning, was that there's so much information that it's really difficult to stay on top of unless you're in it 24/7.
Yeah. And even then, I mean, there's just so many different projects. There's so much going on. So many times, and I think about it because, especially in a bear market, I'm not really looking at prices of these tokens, right? And some of these blockchain projects, I'm looking at the technology and seeing how it's going to impact and change our world. I love making money. Don't get me wrong. I'm super excited and bullish about certain projects, but at the same time, it's so much more than just making money because our whole world is changing because of blockchain and artificial technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad you bring that up because regardless of whether or not you choose to invest in this, we're just here for your entertainment and educational purposes, and that's it. I don't think really, like we've talked about, people really understand what's taking place. I mean, everything is changing very, 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 very fast. And yes, there are a lot of great investment opportunities if you choose, and then you choose the projects that resonate for you. But yeah, it's wild. It's a wild ride.
It is a wild ride. So I thought we should open up the show. Let's talk about the Voyager update, Kel.
Yeah.
So we have really good news for all the Voyager holders that weren't able to get their tokens off in time, before they froze everybody's funds. That's called a bank bail-in.
Right.
So they're just doing it with crypto. I mean, think about all the money these folks have made, Oh,
it's wild. And we know a lot of people were gravely affected by that. A lot of large accounts were frozen.
Yeah. So the good news is that the deal with Binance is going to go through. I think they're going back to court. So Voyager goes to court, I believe, March 2nd, and they're going to finalize their plan. So everybody's going to be paid out. I'm hoping their tokens, I don't know if it's kind for kind, how they're going to do it, but everyone's looking at receiving 40 to 60% of all their money back, which is awesome.
It is absolutely. And those of you that are Voyager account holders, if you haven't been checking your emails, perhaps you set up a special email in regards to your cryptocurrency account, which is part of the way we teach our safety class. You might want to just go in and check that because there is communication taking place. So there are some action steps you can take as far as connecting your Voyager account with Binance, etc. So do lean in. I mean, when we're in this bear market and with all the FUD going on, people have a tendency to just detach and say, well, whatever. but there are some things to really pay attention to. So
Yeah, definitely. So if you don't have a Binance.us account, just create one. I know Voyager's been emailing everybody. You just opt in,
yep.
make sure you have your Binance US account set up, and then they'll let you know when your coins go into Binance. So, and we'll keep everybody posted. March 2nd is, it's like a blink of an eye, right? What is that, next week? Whew.
It's wild, wild, wild. Time's going by very fast.
Yeah, time's going by really, really fast. So, and with all of these changes going on, we just want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, I'm so glad, we try to mention them as, very, very frequently because they're huge supporters of our program. But I have to just share this quick little snippet about my working with Mary Burgers. So Mary Burgers with Computer Diva, and she's been a friend of mine for many, many years, but she's taken care of all of my technology needs for probably just as long as I've known her. And just recently I was like, oh my gosh, because I had made some adjustments to my account and I was like kind of frozen, like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if my system's protected. And, if my system's not protected, I don't want to be logging into my cryptocurrency accounts. I don't want to be, because I have work that I do on MetaMask and I use a NordVPN and all these other things. So anyway, I reached out to Mary just to make sure that some of these changes wasn't impacting my crypto computer, which, is kind of intertwined with a number of things. But anyway, just very responsive. So Computer Diva, it's computerdiva.biz is a go-to must-have, in my opinion, in terms of keeping my digital world safe.
Yeah.
So, and we live in a digital world. Everything we do is through this technology. So anyway, highly recommend. So check her out. She's a great individual, but extraordinarily worth having as a monitor on your system for safety.
Yeah, without a doubt. And our other sponsor, Markley Mobile, with Jeannie Johnson. She's the lead female singer for the Hodlers. So big shout out to Jeannie. And a lot of times we need a notary really quickly, and I was thinking too, what if a lot of things aren't really set up right now with cryptocurrency. So if you have a living will and you need something notarized, if something happens to you or anyone in your family who has cryptocurrency, you can get a legal document notarized from Markley Mobile and make sure that crypto is going to the people you want it to go to, right? Because right now it's so individually based. It's not like a bank where you have, hey, I want my beneficiary to be Rowan. It's got to be a legal document. So it's not just real estate. We always need a notary. And this is like a notary on the go. Get it notarized in your pajamas from anywhere in the world. Pretty cool.
That's a really, really important item to note for sure. So, yep,
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Let's dive in, shall we?
Yeah. So you ready, Kelly? Should I do it?
Yep. Go on.
VeChain.
Yes, and oh my gosh, a big reason for you to start out like that.
Yeah, I was looking because VeChain, like people were like texting me like, whoa, VeChain, VeTho, what's going on? And, it's up almost 40%, in a period of a month. So I wanted to do a deeper dive, like what's going on in the VeChain world, right? I've been talking about VeChain since the beginning of like Two Women in Crypto. It's one of those projects, I selected Cardano and VeChain, and I've been following their white papers, their roadmaps. I love Sonny Liu. He's such a smart, articulate, well-balanced leader, creator of VeChain. He used to be the CIO of Louis Vuitton,
Mm-hmm.
And, VeChain is providing real world solutions. And I think it's so important, right, Kel? Like during the bear market, we're always looking for projects that are solving real world problems. We're looking for projects that are developing, who's developing on VeChain, who's developing on Algorand, whatever, pick a project, make sure there's active development on these projects, because during a bear cycle, we know some projects are going to go away.
Right. Yeah.
So when I was looking at VeChain, and I want everybody to mark your calendar.
Okay.
And I called Kelly last night and I was like, you got to go to Vegas. You're closer.
I know. It's in March, isn't it? Just like a few weeks. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah. So March 4th, VeChain is holding a summit. It's called the Hive Summit. So it's kind of like a one-day conference. If you live in Las Vegas area, it's absolutely free. I think it's at the Red Rock Resort in Vegas. But I was finding this really interesting. Okay. This is so crazy. So at the summit for VeChain, they're having two special guest speakers, and they're Nobel Prize winners.
It's so odd. It just says, it's like, okay, anyway, it's just that statement alone is like, okay, so go ahead.
So I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, who is this Andre Geiim, Geim? I don't even know how to say it, right? And then there's Konstantin Novoselov, right? They're both professors. And they specifically won like the Nobel laureate for their research and discovery in nanomaterials, specifically with graphene. Now, I've been studying graphene for a while because graphene, if there was a way that we could figure out a way to use graphene in a safe way, it could really revolutionize like the world in so many different ways. And I know like people are like, what the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, explain what graphene is, because yeah.
So graphene is a material that's 200 times stronger than steel. It has more it conducts electricity way more than copper. It's super flexible. It's very thin. It's kind of, it has all these different properties. So I was thinking, and I'm listening, and I actually started to do some research, and what these people were able to do was like break it down to like a single layer, like that graphene molecule to a single layer. And I'm just like, okay, so we have the electricity part. It's like kind of like magnetic. It's got all these really cool properties that could be used with the Internet of Things. And I've always been saying VeChain is a long-term hold, right? Like Kelly and I have been driving this point home. When you look at some of the things that VeChain's trying to pull off, like these are 3 to 5 year projects. And like Kelly said, I think you said that last week, like we got to look at some of these projects for the long haul. It does take time to change society. It takes time to change our financial system.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, once the Internet of Things really starts to roll out, right? And we're talking about, 5th generation internet, right? 5G with all the little sensors, you think about the new like peer-to-peer phone systems with Helium, which is a great cryptocurrency project. And a lot of people went out and bought like their like little like Raspberry Pi devices just to have like a small cell conduit, so all of these different sensors can talk to each other. And once all these sensors can talk to each other on the highway, in your towns, in the cities, then they can roll out things like smart cities, which we're all creeped out about. But like artificial intelligence, autonomous cars, and all these different smart gadgets. Like we talked about just last week, we were talking about the smart vacuum cleaners and the smart lawnmowers. Like I was joking around with my parents, like, oh, you don't need Gary and Scotty anymore, who does their pool and their yard. You can just get a robot to clean your pool.
Get clippy and swimmy and get dusty for the house, and you're set.
Right. So here's my question. We have two major Nobel Prize winners guest lecturing at the Hive Summit.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why are these people talking with VeChain when they've discovered all this information about graphene? Is electric vehicles, is the Internet of Things so much closer than we think? And we talk about exponential growth all the time.
Right.
And we
Yeah.
can't, it seems so far away, but I really feel like it's so much closer than it's ever been.
Well, as we know, the landscape is changing so quickly, so quickly. And I mean, I think that it's just gonna continue to roll out at lightning speed. So it'll be interesting to see what does come forward.
Yeah. And I wanted to read a quote that I pulled from some of the research that I did, just to give everybody like an idea. It's really hard to put, it's so super, it's like nanomaterial engineers. I mean, this stuff is just like, I mean, if you can pull off understanding some of this stuff, you could talk about this at your dinner table and your family will think you're a genius, right?
Either that or a nut. I've already got the nut on my side. Come on. Anyway.
I know. I totally get that. But again, it's just like for some of us, Kelly's dog is totally like, oh, mommy, I want you. But like, today's nut is tomorrow's mighty oak tree. And I want people to start. We are changing the world. Whether we like this or not, the world is not going back to what it was. We're moving towards a time of Jetsons. Okay? Meet George Jetson, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
we're all going to have Rosie the robot making us dinner. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but this is happening now. So I wanted to read this quote because this is some of what these Nobel Prize winners like created. Okay. The isolation of graphene led to the discovery of a whole family of 2D materials. These materials can be combined with graphene to create new designer materials to produce applications originally limited to science fiction.
Boom.
These people are speaking at the VeChain conference next week. I think we should all mark our calendars. It's a free event. I'm hoping they'll do a live stream.
I would
don't know.
imagine. I would imagine.
Yeah.
But
And if they don't, I'll find all the information, and we'll do like a follow-up on the podcast. But it's kind of like science fiction is now becoming our new reality. And my question is again, why are these folks going to VeChain? VeChain's launching their new roadmap for 2023 during this conference.
yeah, absolutely. That's really, really interesting. And I remember you spoke of the fact that VeChain had a 40% pump. And I remember sending us, reach out like, wow, it's fun to watch these projects pump because I'm always looking at the charts because I like to do the technical analysis. Yeah, that'll be really interesting to watch how the coin reacts, how the price reacts after this as well. Because what is it selling for? We talked about it last night. Couple cups of coffee. It's what, 3 cents? Oh my gosh, guys, do you understand? It's only 3 cents.
And we are not financial advisors, but I look at VeChain and I look at Cardano, and these were two of the projects. Like when I first started buying into crypto, I stuck with like the major coins, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Remember back in 2017, XRP was number 2. Okay. There was a number 2 coin was XRP, not Ethereum. Yeah. So this lawsuit has really done some funny business around that coin. But when I was looking at the white paper and the roadmap of both Cardano and VeChain, those were the two, you call them like pink sheet companies, right? And Microsoft used to be on the pink sheets. And I remember my dad screaming at me, why are you buying these penny stocks? Because he didn't understand, crypto. But as we saw Cardano evolve, right? Cardano went from 9 cents to 15 cents to $1, $2, $3, and then it comes back down, right? Bull market's over, but they're still building. VeChain, it wasn't even 2 cents. And then it went to 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, right? I think it hit almost 25 cents, and then it comes back down. But we're looking at adoption rates.
Right.
And when I'm looking at what they're going to be talking about at this conference next week is creating a digital economy within the VeChain Thor blockchain using the dual tokens, right? VET and VETHO, to create this whole new carbon credit sustainable economy. Are we moving to a carbon-based sustainable, right? Whether we believe it or not, it doesn't really matter, because this is what's happening. Yeah. So to get in on some of these projects on the early stages, don't go mortgage your house and put it all on VeChain. But and again, for me, it's just fun to watch these projects evolve.
Right.
Because something can happen, it can go to zero. But I don't think so, but anything can happen. But like, to follow these projects and to see the impact that they'll have on society, it's kind of like, what is the world going to look like, Kel, in 2025? Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing to be in a state of awareness and watching all this take place. We speak of it often because, years ago, the world was ticking by and we really had no idea. We were just kind of going along for the ride. But now we're watching it happen in a very fast, real time. And I'll be honest, I think we talk about it's kind of unsettling to think of what it could be. But I think there's going to be so many options, right? You can choose how to engage.
Yeah, and I really believe that we'll have like two parallel economies. It's something that we talk about. And, we'll have like this super centralized version, but we're also going to have a decentralized version. But when I think about smart cities, the Internet of Things, the use of the new discovery of graphene, these folks probably collaborating with VeChain, the conduit for electricity. We talked about the Super Bowl commercials, how they're talking about electric vehicles. Electric vehicles today are not going to be electric vehicles 2 years from now. Everyone will have an electric vehicle. I feel pretty confident saying that now, because if you can capture some of the benefits of this graphene, technology, this new nanomaterial that can serve as a conduit for electricity, how good is solar going to be? How good are electric vehicles going to be in the near future? Let's find out. VeChain's been partnered with BMW for a really long time. Whether, VeChain's working against counterfeiting, they're going to be, in my opinion, like one of the major leaders to solve global supply chain issues and carbon-based credit economies.
Right. Well, I was listening to podcasts. I mean, that's all I really do and they were talking, something I was listening to last night was talking about the issues that they're really discovering about lithium, about the lithium batteries, and the fact that these batteries are highly volatile on heat points, and that the systems our infrastructures are not set up to handle the amount of energy and heat that these batteries can produce. So they're a huge fire, which we've seen it happen in phones or whatever the case may be, but there seems to be more a focused look at the volatility of the lithium battery. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yep. And I think, with any new technology, right, it takes a while to get, especially with electric vehicles and with solar, these technologies, they get better and better and better and better in time. And again, I think we're on the cusp of something really, really awesome happening here, Yeah. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. And again, I just, when I think about Sunny Lou from VeChain, VeChain is an 8-year-old blockchain project partnered with PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte, DNLV, which is one of the major logistics companies in the world, okay, Walmart, track and traceability, farm to table food, transportation, monitoring, how cool some of the, when we transport food or medication, we can track and trace if the medication goes bad, if that meat goes bad, we pull it. VeChain can do that through their QR codes. And if companies are saying these cows are 100% grass fed, VeChain can prove that authenticity. You buy a Louis Vuitton bag on Amazon, VeChain can prove that authenticity. VeChain partnered in 2022 with Amazon Web Services to build the sustainable ecosystem. I really feel like big things are going to be happening, on the VeChain blockchain. So stay tuned. I mean, I'm just over the moon with joy. And they're coming out with their new wallet, V-World.
Wild. One more app to put in my phone. No, that's amazing.
Yep. And remember too, it's like it was it last year? It's so hard to keep track of time, but because everything happens like a week. It's like, oh my God, 10 years have passed. But when they partnered with that Ultimate Fighting Club, and they were able to market VeChain to all of the people that watch this on TV. It's like 900 million users.
Am I right? Hold on. I don't think I am. I was thinking of Algorand and being the sponsor for the sporting, the indoor drone races. I think that's Algorand. I think I'm getting those two confused.
That is Algorand. Okay. That is Algorand. Another really great project, Yeah. Another really great project, and VeChain actually has that green certification as well. I think it's one of the greenest blockchains like to date, as well as Algorand. Like they're both, these are really awesome projects that we're just going to be following really, really closely. And when I think about decentralized finance, and Kelly and I are always talking about, it's so easy to stake your Cardano, right? You get your Ada Lite wallet, your Euro wallet, not the Dallas wallet that you download the whole blockchain on your computer. Don't do that, right?
Right.
But you could do the Uri or the Ada Lite, connect it to your Ledger or your Trezor to have access. Super easy to stake your coins on the blockchain to help provide that security and get paid out rewards, non-taxable event. So with VeChain, like you can create a third-party wallet called Sync, or you get your SafePal wallet. And Kelly, you got to tell me if you're earning your VeTho rewards yet.
Finally, something my SafePal's been, yes. Yeah. Yep, I am.
Okay. So Kelly was able to move her VeChain to her SafePal wallet, and you automatically earn VeTho, right? Which is the gas, right? So just like Ethereum, we pay gas fees for every transaction that we make. So it's the same thing for VeTho on the VeChain blockchain. So, and we use VET tokens. Okay, we use the VeChain tokens for decentralized applications. So it's like a dual tokenomics kind of, economy on that VeChain blockchain. So really, really cool. VeChain will be used for like businesses, corporations, and then every time there's like transaction fees, that gas is VeTho. Not even a penny. And we just collect them for free. It's just boom, 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 boom. And just, what is it like? We get paid out like what it's constant. It's constant. There's not even like a 5-day epoch like on Cardano.
Yeah, I'm not in my wallet all that often these days. I'm just watching the charts and dollar cost averaging in. But yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. So we'll be watching. Definitely will be watching some more news for VeChain. Another thing I wanted to mention real quick too, because and I think do we have yeah. So everybody check the notes. Christiana Georgieva, the managing director of the IMF. I just want to make a mention of this, right? So just last month, the IMF said the Federal Reserve issued a report stating that a CBDC could fundamentally change the structure of the United States financial system. So we included this article, and I wanted to make a mention of this because our financial system is changing. And I know we've been saying this, and we're still right on time. It's so funny. Think about we're on podcast number 70, and yet we're still early.
Right.
Right? We're right on time. And we got to lean in, folks, because when change happens really, really slowly and then all at once.
Right. Yeah, really, really slowly. But before we're on the train, right?
Yeah.
You know, maybe some of us are getting on the caboose. Way cool. But eventually that's going to be this speeding bullet, right? It's really just going to take off. So,
yeah. Yep, it really is. So, when we think about, I don't know how this is going to unfold, like just because a CBDC is programmable and we know there's so many cons to it. So we just want to put pressure, on our senators, on our House of Representatives. Hopefully there'll be some sort of privacy component to it. And if it's not, like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? I get a little concerned when I think about, the Senate hearings that have been going on and, listening to a lot of these folks like, Senator Warren and some of these people. But it's just like they're kind of blaming FTX, Voyager, BlockFi, Celsius for all the shenanigans that have been going on in crypto. And it's just a lie.
well, it gives them the opportunity to launch everything else that they want behind the scenes because everybody's so focused on the projects that they've sacrificed along the way, that have been sacrificed.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and sometimes, like, I think about it too. It's like if they want the scrutiny and the surveillance over all these like new digital asset projects, could they make it where you have to be an accredited investor to invest your money in some of these projects? So we are at a moment of time that like the average person can dollar cost average into these projects before
Absolutely.
the government does what's best for you.
Right. No, I was in a situation yesterday, riding along in a car with a couple of other people, and we ventured across the cryptocurrency conversation. And a young woman that was in the car was like, what does she need to do for herself and her husband to prepare for the future? So they're investing in their 401k and things of that nature. But I am a huge advocate for spreading, your wealth out and making choices to do things a little bit differently, whether that be holding gold or silver, but certainly considering, not financial advice, investing your coffee money into cryptocurrencies, into these projects that are long-term projects.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you think about it, if a cup of coffee is $5-6,
yeah,
how many VeChain can you get for $5-6?
Right. I mean, it adds up, folks.
And it does add up. If you bought a cup of coffee every single day, right? You're on your way to work 5 days a week at $5, that's $25.
Yep.
That's a decent amount of VeChain to just dollar cost average over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen, Kelly, in April 2024?
Oh, the Bitcoin halving. Woohoo!
Right? And then what happens in November of 2024?
Oh, we have an election, I believe, don't we?
Do you think we're going to be in a bull market?
I'm
not psychic, but it's kind of lining up. Cheers.
Yeah, right.
I'm so excited. So, we have the Bitcoin halving that comes up, which reduces, it cuts the amount of mining capability of Bitcoin in half. So we're creating less supply, more demand. And normally within a 12 to 18 month period after the halving, according to historical data, Bitcoin goes into a bull cycle. And when we look at the last halving that happened in 2020, we saw over the next 12 to 24 months, Bitcoin went from just under 10,000 to $69,000.
Right.
Very exciting. So
It is very exciting.
If we're hanging out at like 20, 25 grand for the next, however many months, a year, we just dollar cost average,
Well, let me just give you an example, because I am not a quick math mind. Believe me, I have many people in my world that can do things quickly. I can't. So if I invested, we'll just use VeChain as an example.
Okay.
If I invested $30 today at a price of 3 cents per token, that would give me 1,000 coins. So if VeChain reaches, say, what should we say? Give me a number. Let's say it reaches 75 cents.
Okay.
That would give me a return of investment on my $30 of $720. Just on $30. That's one token. Yeah,
that's insane.
One token.
That is again, it's like there's a huge transfer of wealth going on, right? And Kelly just made the point. It's just like, I encourage everybody to take some time, research some of these projects, because it's kind of like getting Tesla, getting Microsoft on the pink sheets. Yep. Do you want to invest your money in Tesla now, or do you want to invest your money in Tesla when it was $1, or Microsoft when it was on the pink sheets? You know what I mean? It's like, I still have a hard time dollar cost averaging into Cardano, because I was dollar cost averaging all between 9 and 15 cents. So even when it's 40 cents, I'm like, that's kind of expensive, right? It's not, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just really good to accumulate. And then, because what happens, it's like a psychological head game, right, Kel? When the market goes up and Bitcoin's at 50, 60 grand, everybody feels like they're missing out and they want to get in.
Yeah.
And we're here to be like dollar cost average over the next year, right? It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go all around. It's highly volatile market. It's a new emerging technology.
Well, and it's no different than investing in your 401k. Your 401k is going to bounce with the market conditions as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Mm-hmm. I totally get that. I love it.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm feeling really bullish.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right, cool. Well, I think we covered everything. Did I miss anything? Do you have anything else to say?
No. Well, let's just do housekeeping real quick. We normally have our monthly Q&A on Saturday, which would be this Saturday, but we have rescheduled it just one day to Sunday.
Yes.
And it's 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is $10. We would love to have you join us. And we always have just a great conversation, and we cover many things. And for many, it's an opportunity to explore topics that they don't necessarily feel that they have the opportunity to do in their normal world. So, and it's just fun. We laugh and kind of look at the craziness of the world and giggle through the whole thing. So, but it's always very informative and empowering, and we would love to have you with us. So consider that for a Sunday morning.
That's right. So bring all your questions. It's such a sweet community here at Two Women in Crypto. Everyone is invited.
Yep, absolutely. So I guess that's it for now. We'll see you next week. And until then,
hodl on.
Hodl on. Your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomeninCrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, huddle on.